The heart of Eastern, nestled among dense forests and rolling hills, stood the ancient village of Blackwood. It was a place where time seemed to stand still, and the past held a firm grip on the present. The village was renowned for its eerie atmosphere and its deep connection to the supernatural. The tales of ghosts and restless spirits were woven into the very fabric of Blackwood's history, creating a legacy that both fascinated and terrified its inhabitants. The origins of Blackwood's ghostly legends dated back to the medieval period, a time when the village was a strategic stronghold on the edge of a vast kingdom. The villagers spoke of a dark chapter in their history, the Blackwood Massacre. In the year 1275, a brutal conflict erupted between the villagers and an invading army led by a merciless general named Victor von Ravensburg. The general, known for his cruelty, sought to claim the village for its strategic location and the rumored treasure hidden within its borders. The battle was fierce and bloody. The villagers, though brave, were no match for the well-trained soldiers of von Ravensburg. As the invading forces overwhelmed the defenders, the general's rage grew. He ordered his troops to slaughter not only the fighters but also the women and children, leaving no one alive. The massacre was swift and brutal, and the village was left in ruins. The general, having achieved his goal, took the treasure and departed, leaving the once thriving Blackwood a ghost town. The aftermath of the massacre was a period of mourning and despair. The villagers who survived were few and scattered. As years passed, the village was gradually resettled by new inhabitants, but the memories of that fateful night lingered. The ghosts of those who perished were said to haunt the village, their restless spirits seeking justice for the wrongs done to them. One of the most infamous hauntings was that of the Blackwood Manor, a grand estate that had been the seat of the village's wealthiest family before the massacre. The manor had fallen into disrepair but was later restored by the new inhabitants. It was said that the spirit of General Victor von Ravensburg himself haunted the estate. Descriptions of the general's ghost were chilling, an imposing figure with a face frozen in a perpetual scowl, his presence accompanied by the sound of clanking armor and the echo of distant screams. The manor's history was marred by strange occurrences. Visitors reported seeing ghostly apparitions in the grand hall, feeling cold spots, and hearing inexplicable noises. Some claimed to have seen the general's ghost wandering the halls, his eyes glowing with malevolent intent. The manor became a place of fear and fascination, attracting those interested in the supernatural. But the manor was not the only location associated with the village's haunting past. The old churchyard, with its crumbling gravestones and overgrown vegetation, was another focal point of ghostly activity. It was here that the spirits of the massacre's victims were said to roam. The church, now a ruin, had been a place of solace and reflection, but after the massacre, it became a site of mourning and despair. Local legend spoke of a spectral figure known as the Weeping Widow. This ghost was said to be the spirit of a woman who had lost her family in the massacre. She was often seen wandering the graveyard, her ghostly form shrouded in a tattered white gown. Witnesses described hearing her sorrowful wails, which were said to be a lament for her lost loved ones. The Weeping Widow was known to appear on foggy nights, her mournful cries carrying through the mist. The stories of ghosts and hauntings were not limited to specific individuals or locations. The entire village was steeped in supernatural lore. It was said that the spirits of the massacre's victims were not confined to any one place but roamed the streets, seeking to relive their final moments or find peace. Some villagers reported seeing shadowy figures flitting through the alleys, while others felt an oppressive presence as they walked through the village at night. The village's history was also marked by rituals and superstitions aimed at appeasing the restless spirits. One such tradition was the annual Feast of the Departed, a somber occasion where the villagers would gather to honor the memory of those who had died in the massacre. They would light candles and place offerings at the graves of the victims, hoping to soothe their troubled souls and prevent them from causing harm. Despite these efforts, the ghosts of Blackwood remained a constant presence in the lives of its inhabitants. The villagers lived with the knowledge that their home was a place where the past never truly faded away. The stories of ghosts were not just tales told around the fire, they were a part of the village's identity, woven into its history and folklore. As the centuries passed, the village of Blackwood became a place of historical interest and curiosity. Researchers and paranormal enthusiasts flocked to the area, eager to uncover the truth behind the ghostly legends. Some came seeking to document the supernatural phenomena, while others hoped to find a rational explanation for the stories that had endured for so long. One such researcher was Dr. Amelia Fisher, a historian and paranormal investigator who dedicated her career to studying haunted locations. Dr. Fisher was drawn to Blackwood by the allure of its ghostly reputation and the desire to uncover the truth behind the legends. Her research led her to delve into the historical records of the Blackwood Massacre and interview the descendants of the village's early inhabitants. Dr. Fisher's investigations revealed a complex tapestry of history and folklore. She uncovered accounts of the massacre that had been passed down through generations, each telling a slightly different version of the events. The varying accounts added to the mystique of the ghosts and the village's haunted reputation. Through her research, Dr. Fisher came to understand that the ghosts of Blackwood were not merely figments of imagination but a reflection of the village's troubled past and the collective memory of its people. Her findings also shed light on the rituals and practices that had developed in response to the hauntings. Dr. Fisher discovered that the Feast of the Departed was just one of many traditions aimed at honoring and appeasing the spirits. These practices were deeply rooted in the villagers' desire to maintain a connection with their past and find solace in the face of the supernatural. Despite the passage of time and the influx of researchers and tourists, the ghosts of Blackwood remained an integral part of the village's identity. The tales of hauntings and spectral apparitions continued to be a source of fascination and fear. The village itself became a living museum of its haunted past, with its history and legends intertwined in a way that made it both a place of historical significance and a focal point of supernatural intrigue.